a wonderful Wednesday, I want to say. I believe it is December what is it, the 14th, 15th, 2021. And this is not a tarot reading. It's rather, I did pull two oracle messages for you guys from Spiritual AF regarding the topic that you see. Okay. In the topic, I think I mentioned being authentic, being inauthentic. Ah, damn, what was the damn shit? Y'all. Okay. Man, the Bloomster, y'all. Okay, why being too nice is inauthentic? Okay. So, just a little brief discussion about this, and I want to add some disclaimers here, okay? Because you're going to always have someone that takes this kind of thing to the left field. So we're not talking about extremism here. We're not talking about being abusive or anything of that nature here. But I remember some while back I was listening to something by Aaron Doughty, and he talked about the nice guy shadow aspect and how this was a persona that he had taken on due to the conditioning and his childhood and things of that nature. He grew up with an abusive stepmother that was narcissistic. And he learned how to adapt in that way by being super, super nice, hoping that, if he was that way, people would first and foremost perhaps not be abusive to him, um, or, that he would fit in, yada, yada, something to that effect. I can't be quoted. I'm just remembering something that I watched of his. Okay. So, collective. The two cards that came out was this, okay? It says here, self-care isn't selfish, right? It says, if you were really going to take care of yourself today, what would you do? So why aren't you doing that? No healthy person wants you to sacrifice yourself for them. Again, no healthy person wants you to sacrifice yourself for them. Really, anyone who wants that from you is a selfish jerk. Don't assume that the people in your life are selfish jerks who can't handle you doing what you need to do for yourself, okay? And the next one that came out is, can you guys see it? It says, stick with the people who pull the magic out of you, not the madness, okay? Profound statement. Notice how you feel when you're with a person. If you feel like shit, don't hang out with them. It's that straightforward, for reals. They don't have to be bad people for you to choose to not engage. It may just be your reaction to them. Even if you can't remove yourself from their presence completely, you can at least check in with the part of you that gets crazy and give it the love it needs, right? So here's the point: being too nice would eventually put you in a situation where you violate yourself, okay? Being too nice, as you guys see in the image that the icon, it also um, encourages people to believe that they can hurt you, okay, without a consequence. It encourages people that they don't have to respect you, they don't have to treat you in a certain manner when you are too nice, right? And then essentially, it can lead to your own well being disrupted. If you're constantly being too nice in the name of an image, in the name of a persona that you have taken on and been used to, I'm the nice one, I'm the sweet one, I'm the quiet one, I'm, I'm holy, I'm saved, I am, whatever label that you have allowed yourself to take on as a persona to feel pure, to feel sweet, to feel good, but has it gone rogue? Has it gone toxic? Has it gone to such an extent that you don't show up for yourself? Has it gone to such an extent that you sacrifice your own authentic feelings, thoughts, opinions, needs in the name of, I don't want to appear mean. I don't want to appear petty. I don't want to appear immature. I don't want to appear weak. I don't want to appear bothered. I don't want to appear um, vindictive, right? I don't want to, you know. And so, but then as time goes by, you can build up resentment. You can, get mental health issues, all sorts of things. Earlier today, I was thinking, you guys, about how when we allow ourselves to be in chaotic situations with people, no matter what these dynamic or relationships are, and they may want to, if they're toxic, they may want to smear campaign you or scapegoat you to elevate themselves in the public or elevate themselves in a group or an organization or a family or whatever, right? And here's the things we need to look at, especially if they're toxic individuals or if they are possibly in a narcissistic NPD um, spectrum, then they will do all sorts of things to create an imbalance. Do you guys hear what I'm saying here? Because anytime you undergo abuse in a traumatic way, in the long term, it can have a mental health effect. Emotional abuse, psychological abuse, mental abuse, verbal abuse, spiritual abuse is catastrophic. It has an effect on one's mental health. The insidious thing about it is if the individuals are covert in its nature, many won't see it and then they won't believe you and you'll be typecast as crazy and imbalanced and with problems, right? But these individuals played a role in trying to make life hard for you. They played a role in trying to make you feel confused. They played a role in trying to make sure you were plenty burdened and bogged down to break down your mental health so that as they perpetuate a story about you, individuals that are not deep enough or intuitive enough or aligned enough with source will believe it, okay? Because indeed, they have created the instability by being unstable and insidious towards you. They call it crazy making and narcissism. Crazy making, gaslighting, projecting, and scapegoating. Okay. So you all may have adapted this nice persona trying to not be abused by the narcs surrounding you, trying to convince them you are love and you will love them and you're sweet and you're this, hoping to not um, be attacked, right? But it never really works because individuals in that energy, it's deeper than that. They'll never be satisfied. People in that energy need somebody to hurt. They need somebody to be less than. They need somebody to be the underdog. That's the only way that they feel power. That is the only way they feel like they win in life. That is the only way they feel like they can elevate themselves. And so it'll never be enough. There'll always be something so that they can get in a group or sit with themselves or whatever and say, yeah, see, I told you, you know what I'm saying? Look how crazy. Yeah, I told you. But then try to play that hero. See what I'm saying? Yeah, I just, but they don't reveal the insidious nature that they created to make something very difficult for somebody to create a level of imbalance there. Okay. Your authenticity, requires you to be a little mean because it's not selfish for you to self care here. Self care is self respect and self honor, which is going to challenge you to not always be nice. And nice does not mean you are unloving. Not being assertive or not nice doesn't mean that you're not in your divinity or pure or whatever, belief system you have about love, about unconditional love and forgiveness. We intertwine all those things as saying, if you're going to be forgiving to people, then it means that you still be, Sally Sue Sugarfoot, right? And of course, in some cases, yes, but it doesn't mean that you tolerate people who try to capitalize on those type of hearts or beliefs, because it doesn't require that they ever have to really admit, you know, what they do. It doesn't require them to um, have to even own up to it. I mean, it's very simple. I think we start making these things complex as we get older. But if we were to just simply sit back and look at the nature of how children are raised in the most healthy dynamic, of course, right? How we raise children, we're the same, okay? In the human form, we're the same, you guys. And so it's like, especially individuals that are toxic, because it is said that people that are on the NPD spectrum, um, they could be adults, physically adults. They could be people who are prosperous, they have money, they have jobs, but their inside, their development is that of a child, okay? Their actual emotional, okay, if this makes sense, on a holistic level, is that of a child. And so, what do children do? How do children learn as they grow in each and every phase and stage, especially as it pertains to conduct, consequence to your conduct and how you treat people, right? When we deal with our children and our teenagers, what I'm saying? You all have seen these situations, the entitled teenager that grew up super privileged and the parents were never around and they just had maybe all pars and maids and whatever. And they were never challenged. Nobody ever disciplined them. Everybody was scared of them. Everybody catered to them. Nobody saw any wrong in them. And they grow up to be these obnoxious, entitled people who hasn't developed people skills and feel like there's no consequence to being disrespectful, mean, cruel to individuals because all their lives they never had to deal with that. They were not taught it. There was never a consequence to it. People were afraid of them. People gave them more Skittles, more cars, more treats, more whatever, right? And then this is how they're reared and they develop this, okay? So liken that unto adults. I don't care how adult they are. I don't care what labels they have in society. I don't care how much money they have and toys and things that they have surrounded themselves with. Okay. Being too nice to individuals like that who have violated you, right, numerous times, or people who lack boundaries for other people, lack honoring people's boundaries, whether that's physical boundaries, energetic boundaries, social media boundaries, whatever that is, okay? Being too nice to them only further perpetuates that they can do that. So I invite you all to, of course, you want to heal. Of course, you want to continue to be compassionate and forgive. Of course. But like children, you guys, or teenagers or young adults, it's not about words with them. You can sit down and have every little so called constructive conversation with them that you want, okay? Time and time again. But if they do not experience some type of a repercussion, I'm not saying that the repercussion has to always be severe, but if they don't start feeling that there is really a repercussion, that they can't talk their way out of it, that they can't bat their eyes out of it, that they can't, you know what I'm saying, maneuver their way out of it, if they don't at some point start to realize that, they will continue that type of behavior no matter what words are said. So, in other words, you can sit down with the person and say, hey, I really don't appreciate this. This, um, made me feel this way. This is really disrespectful to my beliefs or how I feel or my space or my, whatever. I really feel that that was mean and crude. I really don't appreciate you talking behind my back. I really don't appreciate, what I'm saying? You can sit down and have that conversation. And then the person can sit there and go, yes, you're right. Okay, I understand. I'm sorry. I'll never do it again. And then you notice that this is a pattern and a pattern and a pattern. And as long as that approach is taken, there's no real motivation for these individuals to ever look at themselves or ever become anything different. And people who use their money, their clout, their connections, their looks, their whatever as power in a way to abuse people, in a way to not become a healthy, compassionate, balanced human being towards others, right? Are used to people bending. They have conditioned people into this, okay? Whether it's their family that has become their enablers, their friends, you know what I'm saying? They're used to that. In some cases, they're even rewarded. Very sad. Even rewarded. Okay. Um, but collective, you have to determine that you're going to honor yourself, and if it means losing them, then it means losing them. And maybe you will be the individual that leaves a mark somewhere in that subconscious of theirs, maybe at some point in their lives down the road, that showed them that not everybody is willing to accept abuse, misuse, treatment, disrespect. Some people will leave you and they will leave you for good, right? Um, Also, you know what I'm saying? Like, even if it's not a matter of you leaving, if it's just a matter of, they have to face your wrath, that you're not going to um, be docile with them or Mickey Mouse just because they so called apologize. They have to face your wrath. They have to be willing to hear the effects of that. And then there has to be some type of a boundary erected for the process of re-earning your trust, what I'm saying, to prove that they know how to freaking behave or to prove that they're not going to, what I'm saying, violate whatever that is. But they have to be willing to face the wrath. And I find it very ironic, and I was talking about this, you guys, the other day. Individuals are used to being able to do whatever the hell they want to people, but they have a big time problem when there's a reaction from their behavior, and then they want to typecast these individuals as being crazy, sensitive, right? Extreme. But they didn't reveal how extreme they were in their behaviors towards these people to get that person to the place that they're in. So, collective, don't believe the hype. Your emotions are valid. Okay, when people are not honorable to you and they disrespect you or they, what I'm saying, abuse you or they violate something, okay, and you're not wrong or crazy for showing the passion in an injustice that's done to you. I'm not saying that you should equally become toxic. I'm not saying that you should equally become volatile, but you do have a right to that expression. what I find also unique is that the most abusive individuals are actually the most weak because they can dish all of that toxicity out all day long and they feel justified with it. Okay. They have an excuse, whatever it is, that they feel justified in their behavior. But the moment it is mirrored back to them, you would think it was the apocalypse. Okay. The way they act about it. Okay. The smear campaigns they get started because lo and behold, their behavior was mirrored. Somebody had a reaction to what they did or didn't do, said or didn't say. And it's like, oof, it cut, right? And now it's like, oh my, oh my God, I can't believe, right? You can equate it to in the physical, if somebody like kept slapping you 10 times in your face and you always just stood there, you never did nothing, you just kept turning your head, you just stood there, okay? They got used to that, right? And then one day, maybe on number 12, they slapped you and you knocked the fuck out of them. Like, boom, just like that, right? They look shocked. Their eyes are big. They're like confused. They get up, go, oh my God, I cannot believe what you did. Why did you do that? They go run, tell the whole town. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole big deal. Somebody coming there, like, oh my God. But nobody knows or sees that that person slapped that other individual 10 times over. And that person never did nothing. They never said anything. They never did anything. They just took it and took it. On that 12th time that that person did it yet another time because they got used to being able to do it, then that person reacted and knocked, like I said, they knocked the fuck out of them, knocked them right off their feet. So understand that don't be thrown aback by the backlash that you may get collective when you decide to stand up for yourself and defend yourself or speak out a truth, or whatever it is in the name of defending yourself, right? Don't be taken aback by these smear campaigns or the reactions